Welcome to Spiritual Clearings, where we clear and transmute the energies of the collective across time, space, and dimensions. Using the Akashic Records, we access imprints from the past, present, future, past lives, and parallel realities to bring truth, clarity, and soul-level healing into the now. Let's align with the highest frequency available today, shall we? Aloha, Candace Box here, your spiritual teacher and also alchemical energy healer. I am here for Spiritual Clearing Friday. Happy Aloha Friday to you guys, and I'm really excited to be here today because we are at a pivotal point in our journey for this year. We're approaching Lion's Gate, which is 8/8. We're also approaching a new moon on the 4th. And we're going to have Mercury retrograde. Holy shit, we've got a lot going on. So I'm going to play this beautiful song by Arrested Development called People Every Day, one of my favorites, to get you guys going as I calibrate and get us connected so that then we can work on the topic today, which is reaction versus creation. And I'm going to tell you, basically, for me to get to this point, I had a lot of topics running through my head and I wasn't quite sure what was coming through, but reaction versus creation was like the biggest thing I was experiencing this week. And I'm so excited to share it with you. So here we go. I'm going to calibrate us. Please listen to this song, People Every Day by Arrested Development. Love you guys. Come say hi too. So excited to give this clearing today because reaction versus creation. Let's think about this now. If you kind of put the words together, if you can see it basically on this group, reaction versus creation. Hi, Astra. They have the same letters. And yet they can be so completely different, right? So reaction versus creation. What's the difference? Feel free to type it in the comments. What is the difference between reaction versus creation? A lot, right? Like if you think about reaction, it's almost like, my body is like clenching. I want to, yeah. It's like all of that is like wanting to come out of me right now because the reaction, or even in the reaction can be like, ooh, oh, ah, right? Where creation is like, oh yeah, okay, I got this, right? So I've had an experience this week where I was totally triggered, which means life force energy is moving through me. And when life force energy is moving through me, it's bringing up what's there to be seen, what's been holding for a long time that I've been believing in that basically no longer serves me. And especially with Lionsgate, with new moon, with Mercury retrograde, like there's some shit to clear right now. And if you're not aware of it, and if you're basically in it, it's okay. Like you can be in it, but you can be reacting to past circumstances rather than creating a new way of being. And I think right now what we're doing is being literally forced to see all these parts of us that are in reaction mode. And it's okay that you have those. And by all means, vent, share, express, allow it to be there. But ultimately, that's going to just keep creating the same results, right? It's going to keep going in circles and you're going to start to see the patterns because you're blind up until that point, right? And so when you actually see it and you're like, oh shit, this is a pattern I've been doing over and over and over again, and I've just been reacting to these past circumstances. It's my mind that's literally going in circles, building evidence about what I think and believe to be true. So maybe I can do things differently. And I literally came to a place where I was like on the ground, knees like bent over, like, I surrender. I don't know how to fucking do this. Help. Like when you get to that point, like you're done spinning the story, right? And I was crying, I was angry, I was upset, I was like literally losing my fucking mind, right? And maybe that's what we need to do is lose our fucking minds to get connected back to our soul, because the soul is really considerate of us. We just don't hear it. We don't see it oftentimes. And we like trust more in what our mind is telling us, which actually is the distraction, right? And when it's distracting us from the consideration of what we're really needing to see, then we keep repeating the same results. My hair is driving me crazy. Okay, so then if you can get the thoughts out of the way, so I sat my ass down. I sat my ass down on my lanai and I was like, okay, I'm going to use the formula. Like, if you guys haven't used the formula yet, we did that course, the 5 keys to dissolving fear-based beliefs. Like, I tell you, it freaking works. I sat my ass down, I asked the questions, and I just breathed through the energy, right? And man, all of this stuff was like, bleh. I was like, bleh. I was like gonna puke. I was like coughing and I was crying, and I just let it be because it's been obviously stuck in my system. I've like held it there for so long, not wanting to let it go because somehow it was protecting me. Somehow it was keeping me safe because I needed to remember this energy so it doesn't happen again. Right? So then it's as I'm like literally puking this shit out and allowing myself to be present with what's going inside of me, like my whole body started convulsing. And, you know, for those of you that are into energy healing, it's like the energy's moving, it's unfreezing out of your body. And I'm like, and letting it flow through me. Then I was like, like the pain, the energy that was stuck is finally releasing and it's moving. And I'm not going to say that I was okay. I was literally in a numb state, like, oh, what the fuck just happened, you know? But at the same time, I knew because I did that, the next day would be amazing. And so in the next day, you know, I still had my reactions. I still felt the things that were going on through me, but I knew that my answer would come. Why? Because I finally got the energy out of the way and I could not be in that survival mode anymore. And I could freaking think clearly. I can be in my executive function, prefrontal cortex, and begin to like see beyond the bullshit of what the mind is trying to distract me with. And so instead of reacting, I came to a place of creation and I was like, holy shit, this is what I want to operate from. Like, why do I want to focus on the problem? If I focus on the problem and react to the problem, I'm only going to get more reactions to the problem. Do you feel me? Have you guys been noticing that yourselves? Because if you're in this group and you're literally clearing and paving the way for your preferences, you're going to see where you've been reacting, where you've been operating from that actually no longer serves you. And in the midst of that is creation. It's always been there. It's always creating. It's just if you're misaligned, you're going to create from the reaction. But if you're in your true self, you're going to create from that place, which is completely and entirely different from any way that you've behaved. Like, so I got into a place where I was just like, how can I do this differently? That's it. How can I do this differently? I was like, because that's all fear-based. That's all reaction-based. That's all stuff I've done over and over and over and over again. And it's not getting me to where I want to be. And I was like, okay, how can I do it differently? So differently to me is what? Love. Differently to me is peace. Differently to me is something that I prefer. And so then I got into a place where, yes, Heather, yes. I got into a place where, well, how can I do this without exploding, blaming, projecting, reacting to the circumstance and create from what I want to create? And boom, the information dropped. And for me, like at that time was compassionate communication. I had to talk to somebody about something that really triggered the shit out of me, caused reactions out of me. And I took my time. I did not react right away. I mean, I was in my shit, but at the same time, I let myself have some space to throw my temper tantrum, to go buck wild, crazy, cry, whatever it was, and give myself time to let those reactions flow through because they're there. You know, you can't stop them. They're fucking there. You know, it's like, and then, you know, had a really good friend I got to talk to about it and really like be a sounding board and like hear myself and wanted to say all the things. And then literally, again, I realized it's compassionate communication. And I had to learn a different way of communicating what I preferred and what I need. And because of that, everything changed. Everything. Because I was creating, right? And so in that creation, guess what happens? Since it's coming from your third chakra, that power center, it's giving you this opportunity to create from your true self. Your true self is always in there. And it's like literally going to take you to places that you prefer. The people that you might have to work around may or may not come with you, but ultimately, like in creation, you're creating a pathway towards who you really are, right? Hi, Courtney. Thank you so much for jumping on. So who you really are is beyond what you think and know and believe to be true. Who you are is this great soul. You are a soul that knows everything, can consider everything. And in that, it can create in ways that you prefer. And so when I sat in that and I listened to myself, I was like, ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that. And then I was able to tell my friend that that's what I was doing. They're like, oh, let me take some of that. I like that, because it was something we both have never seen before. And from that compassionate communication, I was creating and paving a way for the life that I desire, I deserve, and what I know to be true about myself. And because of that, I know my life is going to be that much more fantastic, and I think that's really important to really understand, because when we are in reaction mode, you're just going to create the same results over and over again. And creation is going to take you places you've never seen before. And it's going to be places that is more who you are, that is going to unveil like everything you've known and believed that is false, to get you to a place where you belong, where you've always wanted to be. And so here we go. Let's do a clearing on this, right? So if you guys are excited about creating life instead of reacting, then give me a emoji, be like, boop, boop, because that's where I am. And, I'm so different from yesterday. Like my energy yesterday was like, and today I'm like, yes, I get it. And that's the thing that happens is when you start to feel and release the energy and move, what happens? You have more life force energy moving through you. You have more access to the higher frequencies, which is joy, because you're not being bogged down by the anger, the sadness, the blame, the shame, the bullshit that keeps reflecting back to you over and over and over again, right? You're now in a place that you're ready to go, fuck this shit. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to create something different. So if you are ready to create something different, do a fun emoji in the comments. Thank you, Heather, for sharing and showing up. All right. So I've already calibrated us, and I want to get to a place where we look at this and understand what the fuck is happening. Why do we keep reacting, first and foremost? And then I'm going to separate it into what we need to know for creation. Okay. Thanks, Michelle. I am more free and flowing. I move so much energy. It's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And it works. It's just, I think the biggest thing, aside from clearing things, it's like we don't allow ourselves to sit with ourselves long enough to be present with ourselves, to let the feelings flow. We go into the thinking mode instead of the feeling mode. And then when we think, we go into these rabbit holes, and then we go far beyond where we want to go, and we conjure up all these ideas and conjure up all this shit that doesn't work. And then we're reacting to those things instead of okay, that's just a story. That's a narrative right now. Can I come back to me? Can I come back to where is my creative energy? Yes, we are very ready for fun and true creation. Yes, Astra. Amen to that. So let us do that. Thanks, Christine, for dropping an emoji. And yes, Michelle, truth. I'm in my truth. I'm so happy because I was not in my truth. Oh my God, I was in my misalignments. And I actually had a conversation with Isaac yesterday. I was like, you keep saying distorted, and I'm so triggered by distortion. And I'm like, I'm not distorted. And he's like, well, what would you rather say? I'm like, I might be misaligned. And he's like, that's kind of like this distortion. But I was like, somehow distortion feels a little more negative. So misaligned just feels more like I'm out of alignment. And that's okay, because it's not like punishing, right? It's more about realigning. Yeah, they feel so different from one another. And distortion can have like, ooh, and then the whole piece of misalignment is like, oh, okay, I can recorrect that and get into alignment again. Like, it's a little easier on our system. And man, if you are anything like me right now, especially with Lionsgate, especially with freaking new moon, especially with Mercury retrograde and all the bullshit that's happening right now and the ascension process and blah, 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 like, you're probably feeling really sensitive to everything, and words really have this meaning right now. And, I just watched this reel, and it was talking about how words are spells. That's why we learn spelling. And I just have to say, like, it was fascinating because, if we look at the days of the week, right? And we say the week, like, we got to go through the weekdays. If you look at the play on words, weekdays, like week, W-E-E-K, and week, W-E-A-K, like, we're creating weakness in our days. And then think about the weekend. Like, do you hear it? I'm weakened. I am weakened by having a weekday. I am weakened by the end of the weekend. Like, what the fuck? Like, the play on words is so strong, and we're starting to feel the energy of the words. Like, the Hawaiian language really utilizes words as a spiritual upliftment of, like, place of experience. It's manifestation. It's words that's coming out of your mouth that is, like, literally creating. And that's what we're doing here. So when you're spewing words, what are you creating, right? What do you want to create instead? I don't want to create from reactions and blah, 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 blah. We have to sometimes to be able to let that shit out. But ultimately, let's hold a big fat container for that and be like, let's dump it in here and transmute, transcend that on all levels, layers. I don't believe any of that to be fucking true, and go bye-bye, And that way you can, like, transcend it inside of you. Like, yeah, Gaelic, all kinds of words. We're saying shit that we don't need to say anymore, and it doesn't work for us because it's weakening us from our manifestation and creation powers. Like, let's do something about that. I know Courtney's like, oh, damn, like, it's so freaking true. Sam says, this is so in line with what I've been processing and integrating since class on Monday. Yeah, like, your class, we're all going into the throat chakra. And so what does this mean, right? Throat chakra, communication, manifestation. How rigid are we to standards and ways of being that actually no longer support us? What are we spewing out of our mouths that are, like, literally in reaction rather than creation? And can we step into our true selves? So my other class is in third chakra, and that's that true self energy. And so I'm like third and fifth, like, simultaneously happening, and, like, true shit's coming out, and I'm like, and so here we go. We're all fucking ready, right? We're just so fucking ready for all of this shit. So, okay, let's be mindful of our words so that we're not in reaction, but we're in creation. So let's see, is there something we can clear around reactions? Yes. What is it? So we're going to refining our consciousness, and it's in harmony, which is also another misalignment, right? So in harmony is where we're not harmoniously to the whole picture. You're only seeing this one piece that's literally pulling you to the side and saying, hey, look at me. And so it's taking the bulk of your attention, your focus, your consciousness in ways that actually probably keep you outside of the whole alignment, right? The main true center of all that you are is like whooshing with energy, and this other part is like, I don't want to go with you. Why? Because I don't know if I'm worthy enough. I don't know if I'm, ready to change. I don't know if I'm ready to make that leap, right? And yet this force is coming through you, like, come on with me. Like, we can integrate that piece so that you're not operating from those places anymore, not being doubtful or low self-esteem or unworthy. Like, that doesn't even exist. Like, you pulled yourself out of the current thinking, like, you weren't worthy of all that you are, right? I just read this quote, or I don't know, some kind of something my friend sent to me. And it's like, oftentimes when we like literally go for what we want, and we want it so badly, but there's parts of ourselves that we do got to refine. We're refining our consciousness. And as we're refining those consciousness pieces, like can feel afraid to go in that direction, because it's like, well, what's going to happen to me? I've been so afraid for so long. What if I'm never afraid anymore? What if I'm no longer feeling unworthy? Like, what would that look like? What if I don't ever have to live in survival mode? Like, but that is comfortable to me. That is what I've known and believed to be true. And yet it's creating the disharmony that doesn't allow us to go into the flow of where life is taking us. Because maybe our soul is like, come with me. I swear, I know the way. I know what's most beneficial for you. If you come harmonize with me over here on this frequency, we can ride that wave that's going to take you to where you desire and what you prefer. I think so. So let's go ahead and clear in harmony at the one level so that we can be one with all of ourselves in ways that doesn't allow us, it doesn't keep us in reaction, and gets us into a state of being that's more aligned with who we are. Hello, Alicia. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. I am so loving all the comments right now. Thank you for being here. And you guys are amazing, and I feel so amazing right now. And I think with all of this energy, it's going to go like this, but it's rising. We're going this way, and we have to trust that, because that's what our soul is going to do. It's going to be like, you're going up, and I'm going to bring you down so you can see this other bit. And I'm going to bring you up, and I'm going to show you this other piece that, is just lingering. Don't be afraid of it. Yeah, you might react a little bit. Yeah, we're in creation mode. We're going up. And we're just reharmonizing our energy, and we're allowing the flow to take us to creation mode. Thank you, Christine. I love my energy today too. I'm like, wow, this is where I am right now. Because I went down into the depths of despair. You know what I mean? If you go there, you allow yourself to go there, to freaking get in the freaking shit of it all, you can collect yourself and bring yourself up. And that's exactly what that clearing was. It's like, bring yourself to that level of awareness again. Like, you're not stuck in a state. This too shall pass. It always does, and it always will. We're just there for that moment, and it depends on how much shit you gathered there in that experience, that then you're going to stay there for a little bit. What's stored with pain will come up with pain, and sometimes we just got to feel it. You know what I mean? So I'm so glad that this is supporting you, Christine. And I'm so excited, Samantha, that you're catching it more quickly, because that's what spiritual growth is all about. Like, everybody, it's not about like these huge transformations. It's the small everyday things that you're catching that allows the change of trajectory in your life. One small difference that you choose from the reaction actually creates a whole new trajectory of your life. It does. I'm living it. I'm an example, and I keep doing it. And I'm just like you. I am so equal to you. Like, it's ridiculous. I know I call myself a spiritual teacher. I know I teach all this shit. I know I've been working on my crap for years, but guess what? I am not immune whatsoever. And I wish I was. Am I getting there? I'm getting closer. However, it's not the destination. It's the journey. And I'm experiencing this firsthand for myself. And I know you're experiencing it. We can't even discredit any of the shit that we go through, because ultimately it's our own journeys. Our soul is leading us on this path of an amazing experience. And if you're not awakened, you're fucking missing out. You know what I'm saying? So, is there anything else to clear around reaction? It's like, no, because we know what reaction is. Like, we have been doing it like most of our lives. I want to actually ask, like, what % have we been reacting in life? 99% reactionary. Like, think about that a moment. Like, dang. I was watching this comedian, and he was talking about, like, he asked his dad, he was like, Dad, how have you been able to stay married with Mom for so long? And I don't know like how many years exactly they were together, but he was like, the thing about it is to be mindful of your reactions. Like, whatever first wants to come out of your mouth, right? Don't say that shit. That shit leads you to divorce. Whatever comes out second out of your mind, don't say that shit either. It's going to put you on the couch. Now, the third, that's probably more true, because now you're getting into a place where you're actually letting go of the energy of the first initials reactions. And now you're in a place of like, okay, well, this is most beneficial. Like for me, I might have taken 25 reactions before I got to my literally like clear-headed idea of what really is going on. So be patient with yourself. Sometimes we've like literally stuck a whole bunch of those reactions inside of us that are like, blah, 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 like we're spitting it out like the Tasmanian devil until you go, okay, I got this. I know what to say now. So, that might be another piece for you in the reactionary mode. So what soul right now is asking me to go to is creation. So what do we need to clear or understand about creation? Let's see, is it clearing or understand? Understanding. All right, so what do we need to understand about creation? We are going to a miscellaneous chart, which gives us a lot of information. So it's a loss of subconscious integrity. I mean, think about it. Like our subconscious energy is really giving meaning to so many things we have done in the past. Whereas maybe we were just trying these new pathways, and in those new pathways, yeah, maybe it wasn't standard. Maybe it wasn't accepted by others. And then we like deemed it wrong. And so now we're reacting to those pieces when initially first they were actually creation moments, right? So maybe what's fascinating is like what we've done throughout our lives that was different, that was attempting to get us into a place that was more aligned, was actually these creative moments to step outside of the norm, outside of the standards, outside of what everyone says and believes to be true, to give us an opportunity. And then as we do, it's like the whole system at play is like, well, that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. And then we like go, okay, well, I'm going to protect myself and now react from that and like make sure I'm copacetic and in line and belong and whatever else we've done, right? And so if we can really begin to get in integrity with ourselves and just really choose what we know and believe to be true and like let go of what the external world is saying to us, then we can get into a place of like, well, actually that was kind of brilliant. It wasn't quite hitting the mark. And now I'm going to create differently because that wasn't quite it. Right? So we can get into a new space with this energy. And as we're creating, we're like refining. Like, I love the Virgo energy. It's like constantly like, okay, I'm going to tweak this a little bit to go more in this way because that feels more aligned. And then you have the experience and then you're like, well, I can tweak it this way and we'll see what happens because that feels more aligned. And we're just having a series of these tweaking events or twerking events that give us more joy and understand what we want to experience, right? Because it's all just the experience. That's what creation is let me try this and experience it. Let me try this and experience it. And maybe like those scientists and researchers and those that have been, doing something differently, they're just slightly tweaking things and then voila, creative moments that says, here's quantum physics. Here, we can understand the moon. Here's what this star is all about. Like, we're just all like figuring it out. Like, creation is figuring some shit out. that maybe we didn't have access to before. We're now utilizing new resources, new information, and allowing ourselves to see what else is going to be possible, right? So I'm really excited, Sam, that you're stepping into your Virgo rising. Yes, and if you are familiar with astrology, people, like your sun sign is your personality. It's what you're operating from. I'm total Virgo, but guess what? I am so in my element right now because my rising sign is Leo. And what month are we in? Leo! Like, Leo is like, I'm the show. I'm confident. I got this, right? And it can seem overzealous in so many ways, but I like this energy and it's me right now. So I'm going to utilize it this whole month and step into that Leo and rise the shit out of it. So here we go. So let's go ahead and clear the loss of subconscious integrity and come back to the energy of what is more true for us and create from that zone. Let us create from integrity within ourselves. And integrity, I want you to know, like, I was reading my I'm going to share so many references. I was reading my numerology in this book, The Life You Were Born to Live by Dan Millman. And, it talked about emotional integrity. It's not about what's right or wrong. Like, what to me feels so right to me that I've never fully expressed in myself before or even said out loud. And that is where my truth is. Because what I've done a lot of my life up until now is hold all those expressions in. Why? To acquiesce. Why? To people please. Why? To belong. Why? To pretend I'm stupid so that people think I'm okay to hang out with, right? And so as I'm doing that, what am I doing? I am literally dismissing my own truth inside of me and not fully expressing or sharing what I feel or what I'm experiencing, because what I feel and experiencing, I don't believe it to be true. And maybe it is true. And every time I didn't speak up, and it was actually the right thing, I'm like, there goes my confidence. Like, I should have raised my hand, but I'm so scared. I'm so ashamed. I'm so this, I'm so that. And it doesn't work for me anymore. So really get in integrity with yourself, not with the standards of what the hell everyone's saying or doing. Like, what is it inside of you that your soul is calling for you to do right now? And when you can tap into that, it's like, of course, that's the way I want to go. Of course, that's how I want to be. I'm not going to let other people dictate that for me anymore. I'm going to be mindful. I'm going to be considerate, but I'm not going to just lay down and fucking take it anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be that doormat. I am opinionated. I am an expressive person and I'm ready to express that shit. Norma says, is the connection a bit choppy, but gosh, I can relate so much. Oh, I'm so glad that you're still here. And I'm sorry. Sometimes my Wi-Fi service may be a little crazy because I'm in the country, but hopefully you can rewatch it. Astra, all about that Virgo sun and Virgo rising, baby. Yeah, you are. Oh my gosh. And happy early birthday to you. I'm going to celebrate your birthday month right now. Whoop, whoop. So excited for you. And Sam says, my daughter is straight Leo for all three. Oh, damn. That's intense. Yeah, it's astrology is so amazing. I mean, literally it just shows you where you're at, what you're doing and who you be. And if you can understand all the houses and all the planets, it gives this beautiful understanding of who you are. It's amazing. All right. So, let's go back into creation and see what we are looking at here. What else do we need to understand about creation? So we're going to chart 11. We are looking at a dysfunction of soul consciousness. Oh, I love this. Gosh, dysfunction of soul consciousness. I was just reading another thing where it's we have a soul, but wait a minute. Aren't we the soul? We don't have a soul. We are the soul. And so a lot of times what we're doing is attempting to have the soul fit our personality, ourselves. maybe our soul isn't that. Maybe our soul is way more bigger than that, but we fit it into a tiny little box and say like, this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want. And maybe your soul is like, yeah, sweetie, you think that's what you want, but that's not really what you want. Let me show you something else. And so in that, we often start to create from a place of like what other people have, what we see around us, because it's like, that looks good. I need that. I want that. But ultimately it's like, well, maybe that's not for you. Maybe what's for you is something completely different. And if you're a little bit patient and you follow the flow, like it's going to create for you something that you've always wanted that you never realized. And the cool thing about that too is the way it's created is so magnificent and magical. Like literally, like the synchronicity that flows through in creation moments is quite profound, but we often miss it because we're looking for it in a particular way, right? So we literally distort our soul consciousness to fit this personality. And so then we create from what our small mind is, thinking and believing, and we literally dismiss what's actually being given to us, what's being presented to us in each of these moments. And it's like, holy crap. And the only way to see it is if you're aware and you're awakened. And I'm coughing a lot of shit up right now. Okay, let's like throat energy too. Let's clear and release that on all levels, layers. Clear that for everybody. Oh my gosh. That's what happens when we start creating, right? We get choked up and we're like, is this gonna work? I have fear, I have doubt. And then we're like not trusting in our soul, and we again distort and we operate from the dysfunction or the misalignment of what we're thinking and believing to be true. Well, that feels way better. I'm gonna get a sip of water here. And then I encourage you, this is a pretty big fat freaking clearing, by the way. If you don't feel it, then you got to go to our school, because you'll get into the sensitivity of what's more true and what's not as true. Okay. Here we go. So can we clear the dysfunction of soul consciousness in all levels, layers? Please clear. I'm led. So what came through at that moment is, I know a lot of us may or may not like surprises. However, our soul likes to surprise us. It like enjoys in the surprise and delight, right? It's like, oh my God, I'm planning something for you and I'm so excited for you to experience it. And in that, it's like, I'm going to line things up and give you this present and this gift that like, if you just follow it, you're going to just be like, oh my God, that's amazing. Oh my God, that's amazing. And so what happens is, with our mind wanting to know, to keep ourselves safe, to not have surprises, then we kind of like pull away from that flow, right? We pull away from the surprise because it's like, I want to know, I need to know. And if you're not going to tell me, I'm going to do all this other stuff, right? And so we are distracting ourselves again from what is more true for us. So I just had to drop that in this because that's what came through, and I think that's very valuable. Okay. Cleared, accurate, complete. Is there another thing that we need to understand about creation? Yes, there is. What is it? Okay, we're going to a healing chart. So, brain tuner, are you guys ready to tune your brains? I prefer that too. Like, literally when like I said, when that download of compassionate communication came in, it was like, whoa, where'd that come from? Like I've had information about this before, but I've never practiced it. And literally the information was like, and it popped in, and I was like, oh, this is so perfect. Like, and then my mind was riffing off of that. It's like, oh yeah, when we can do this and we can do this and we can do this. And I was like, well, I prefer that. And so if we tune our brains to more of what we prefer and how we'd like to be, like, that is such true creation. Like, you're intentionally creating from that space rather than the reaction of fear or survival or shame or blame or whatever that is. So you're in that space now. It's like, I'm creating the intention. And in actuality, like when I did the talk with my friend, I was like, I'd like to set an intention for this conversation. And in that intention, it literally occurred. Like where it gave me structure, it gave me a container to hold what I was going to share, to allow it to be set to that pace, that frequency. So if you allow yourself that intention in a way where you're literally abiding by that creation of it, it leads you to the places that really empower you, that open you up to more love, feel that connection, express yourself in ways that you might have never believed to be true, see things clearly and understand that you're fully connected. Like, yes, please, D, all of the above. So, please be mindful of the tuning of your brain. What are you attuned to? And go, like, am I creating from reaction, or am I literally in the creation of what I prefer? And let's go ahead and apply the brain tuning. So you might go in your brain right now, and just allow that to take root. Breathe that in. Oh, my neck just popped. I guess our brains need a lot of attunement. This keeps been going. Oh my God. Yes, a revamp, a reprogram. Yes, please. Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you. Okay. Anything else around creation? No. Anything else that we need to say or share before we end? No. I think I've said enough. I think we're all ready for this beautiful creation. Because, Isaac can always say, like, we can get busy with creation, or we can get busy with continuous healing. And I think we're all past that phase. Like, truly, like, we're still healing and we're creating simultaneously. However, I want to start focusing on creation. I don't know about you, but yeah, creation feels great. Let's like really take ourselves to a different space by creating a different way of being. And that's the cool thing about third chakra. Sometimes creation is not about like a planned idea. It's literally doing what needs to be done right here, right now. That's like literally asking for your attention. Because what happens when you do that, it literally moves energy away so that then you're back in the flow. Because third chakra likes to stay put, stay stuck, and stay stagnant. It's like, I'm shutting down because there's too much to do. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't want to do any of it. But if we take one small move in one direction, whether it be cleaning your house because your house is messy, or making that phone call that you're supposed to make, or whatever it is, it like gets the energy moving and then starts the creation process, and then you recalibrate and you're back in the flow, right? So you guys are amazing. I'm going to go ahead and mop this up, which just means we're closing up shop. We're allowing all of that energy to be downloaded and transpired inside of us, and allow us to really be present in the here and now. Especially, like, I'm not kidding, guys, when we talk about like all of this wonderful energy that's moving, it's actually so powerful. The portal of Lionsgate is like gonna go whoosh with you. So if you find yourself on the floor crying, saying, God, I surrender, like, you're in the right place. Like, truly allow yourself to surrender. Like, it's happening for you right now. Everything is shifting. It's shifting right now, and we're being elevated. We are ascending into a new higher frequency, and it can't take those lower frequencies with us. So you've got to see it. You've got to reintegrate it so that you can ascend. See me on the floor, like, yes, I know, I was so on the floor. I was like, anyway, yes, Michelle, pick your veggies in your garden. How simple. Like, it's that simple. That we make it so complicated. Like, we have to clean the whole fucking house when maybe all you have to do is, move that shit off of your chair. You know what I mean? That small movement then moves mountains everywhere else. So, elevated, activated, and our soul will feel so good. It's like, cause we're realigning, we're more harmonious, and now I'm like on fire. You know what I mean? So yeah, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Ain't nothing gonna throw me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. All right. So everybody, thank you, Heavenly Father, Mother Earth, guides, guardian angels, for all your love and support. As we begin to see where our reactions are, and as we become aware of these reactions, we are noticing the patterns that are attached to it. And as we notice the patterns, we see it, we love on it, we acknowledge it, we validate it, and we choose something differently because we don't need to go down that rabbit hole anymore. So thank you for the ability to create, to make new pathways, new circuits, new thoughts, new ways of being that literally put us on the trajectory of what we more prefer, what is more our soul is revealing to us, what is giving us the power, the consciousness, the creation, the connection, the love that is so desperately we want. So thank you for all that love. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and play my song one more time because I love this song. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's dance it out. And I'll see you next Friday. Bye, Sam. Dance party. See you guys. If you felt a shift today, this is just the beginning. Join us inside New Paradigm Healing Academy to go deeper into clearing, energy work, and soul remembrance. Subscribe, like, and share this with someone ready to release the old and embody the new. Together, we rise in frequency across all timelines.